TONCOIN, or the Open Network. This is a project that has jumped from above 200 in the rankings to now in the top 25, all done throughout a bear market of 2022 where Bitcoin, Ethereum and many other projects were falling. TONCOIN is up 165% from the summer of 2022. What do I think about this project? Do I think it can 40x from here? We're going to go through that. We're going to go through some tokenomics. We're going to go through some all-important updates on this project because they've got a little bit of a complicated history. But one thing is for sure, this is a project with potential, which is firmly on my radar and should be on yours too. Let's get straight into this one. Before getting into this, it's important to understand the history of TONCOIN because it's a little bit complicated. It's not actually a new project. This project was originally designed and conceived back in 2018 by the Telegram brothers. Yes, Telegram, the popular messaging app. Those brothers set out to build a layer 1 blockchain, and they did so. They launched in 2018 with a pre-sale at $1.7 billion. Yes, it's safe to say this garnered a lot of attention and unfortunately some unnecessary attention from the SEC, who decided to pursue this pre-sale of a security. Here's what the SEC had to say. The US Securities and Exchange Commission sues Telegram, accusing it of conducting an unregistered securities offering. Telegram argues that the SEC's claims were baseless, but agrees to postpone the launch of TON until legal matters are resolved. This caused a huge spanner in the works and it led to an immense delay. I mean, from 2018 all the way up to 2020, by which point Telegram and the brothers decided to just pay a fine and return the funds to the investors. Now, this led a few other people, a few development teams, to look at this exciting design, to look at this exciting roadmap and the things that were already initially built and say, we can take that on, we can build that, that's a really exciting project. And they eventually were taken over by the new formation of the Open Network, which is a group who's behind it, named as the TON Foundation. The TON Foundation is a decentralized community started by Anatoly Makosov and Kirill Emelianenko after Telegram stepped away from the project. A community of open source developers has supported the development of TON ever since, with the goal of staying true to the network design detailed in the original white paper. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting, and it's important that we get this off the bat before going into a bunch of exciting stuff. Now, a lot of people are saying, from all the development teams that wanted to take on the development, why was it that the Telegram brothers decided on going with this TON Foundation, with this pair here? And a lot of people were saying that this pair decided to stay close to the legacy and the notion and the ideas that the Telegram brothers wanted this project to follow. So a lot of people are now making the assumption, it's important to just put it out there, I don't know, I don't know one way or the other, this is just complete hearsay, that are we completely decentralized in that manner then, or are they still following the wishes of the Telegram brothers? It's important to put that out there before we head straight into the next bits. With that out of the way, what is this project? Well, the Open Network, also known as TONCOIN, is a fully decentralized layer 1 blockchain. Yep, it's proof of stake, they're sharding enabled, they've got near instant finality and high transactions per second. Now remember, we're now living in an age where all of this stuff is starting to become really standard for layer 1 blockchains. If you do not have some of the things I've just mentioned there, you are really not in the highly technically enabled blockchains. It's a hugely competitive space, and remember, all layer 1 blockchains are trying to do the same thing. They're trying to solve the classical blockchain trilemma: decentralization, security, and scalability. And if you went back a couple of years ago to find layer 1 solutions, which included the likes of Ethereum at the time, they were struggling with this. If they often wanted to focus on two of them, they'd struggle with the third. I mean, if you look at Solana as a great case, they're really fast, they're really scalable, and yet at the other side, they sacrifice a little bit of decentralization and a little bit of security, right? You have to pick your poison. Whereas now we're seeing with modern layer 1 blockchains, they're starting to figure it out. The likes of Algorand, the likes of Phantom, TONCOIN, Near Protocol, many of these exciting layer 1 blockchains, they're solving this blockchain trilemma. Now, if we take a look at this, you can see here that they're now already saying we're getting some good adoption. Now, when I'm looking at it, I'm looking at some of the network activity and thinking it's a little bit lackluster, but at the same time, it's important to understand that this is still early. Yes, they've had a massive 2022, which has pushed them from above 206 in the rankings to now in the top 25 on CoinMarketCap. So what a phenomenal 2022. given the backdrop. But you're seeing here they're boasting 100 million transactions, just under 2 million accounts, and 247 validators. That is not a bad feat, but I'm going to come on to whether this is a good valuation, whether it's a good project, whether I think it can 40x from here, what kind of legs do I think this project has. They've also had a huge investment of $250 million from the likes of BYBIT, KuCoin to put into their ecosystem fund. So this is a project with a very clear roadmap, very clear communications. They've built a good social community. They've got an exciting roadmap, and they've got the funds to go pursue it. So this is what you want to line up in terms of a layer 1 solution. As a side note, a lot of you guys who watch my videos know that one of my struggles with projects is you often find layer 1 solutions with really amazing technology because the founders are really academically inclined. But oftentimes that leaves a gap in the skill set where they're not able to build a strong enough community that puts impetus behind the projects and gets people understanding the project. Remember, you could have amazing technology. If nobody knows you exist, it's pointless. And that's one thing that TONCOIN has managed to do well. They do have a good social community. You can already see they've got 2 million followers. They got people actively posting stories and updates, and the team are actively giving them good pieces of content to post because they're making good progress. Let's get into some of that progress that they managed throughout 2022. So if we're looking at some of the achievements throughout 2022, TONCOIN have managed to 14x the number of network accounts. They've gone from 128,000 to 1.8 million. Almost 100 million transactions have now been processed by the network since its inception. On top of that, they've grown their follower count, like we discussed, to 2 million, up from 600K. They've gone from the top 200 up to the top 25, which is really impressive. They've made huge progress with their TON DNS. They've started TON payment channels. They've done TON storage. TON DeFi has kicked off. They've been listed on major exchanges like BYBIT, Mexi, KuCoin, BYBIT, BitGet this year, Poloniex, BitPro. I mean, they've started their TON staking. They've had a really busy 2022, and this is the kind of project that I like. During a bear market, what have they proven? They've proven that they've managed to build. So those are a lot of positives which really do appeal to me when I'm looking at a project. There are so many layer 1 solutions, I'm not going to name them specifically, that throughout 2022 in a bear market, they were trying to just gather attention without actually building anything. And that's the worst thing. Either one, stay silent. If you have got nothing to say during a bear market, stay out of attention, right? So at least your token doesn't get smashed. But two, if you can, do what something like Polygon Matic did. Find partnerships, do bez dev, keep working on things, and TONCOIN seems to have done exactly that in 2022, and it's no wonder why they've climbed up the rankings. So as you can see, TONCOIN is sitting at $2.13. It's had an all-time high of about $5.84 back in November 2021 when Bitcoin was at its peak. Few things to point out. Now, this is not specifically a tokenomics breakdown. If you want a detailed tokenomics breakdown, like the one I've done for Phantom, which I'll link up here, let me know in the comments, put in caps Tokenomics, and I can get that video made for you. But a few things that I need to bring to your attention. The market cap is already sitting at 2.6 billion. Let's put that into perspective. To put that into perspective, that's already half the market cap of something like the Tron network. It's half the market cap already of a project like Avalanche. It's already, almost 2/3 of Cosmos Atom. It's 2/3 of Chainlink. If we keep going down there, you can see top 25, TONCOIN. It's bigger than the likes of Algorand, which is sitting at 1.5 billion. You've got Near Protocol, it's bigger than that, sitting at 1.3 billion. Now, I've made videos saying that at times I feel like Near Protocol is overvalued, but maybe that's because of the likes of Phantom, which we speak about on this channel quite a bit as well, which is sitting here at less than $1 billion. You're talking 700 million market cap here for Phantom versus the 2 billion we were looking at here. For 2.6 billion we're looking at here for TONCOIN. So that's one thing to be completely aware about. Now, it's not just that. The other issue is to look at the circulating supply just above my head here. Let's just get that zoomed in. And you can see here that the circulating supply is sitting there at 1.2 billion. Okay, so that's 1.2 billion ton. Now remember, the max supply is sitting here at 5 billion. So that's a good thing. They've got a max supply, they're proof of stake, but 24% is not enough for me. That's not enough in circulating supply. Now, I did try to have a quick look to find the release schedule, because normally when you have projects, they have a release schedule where they tell you when is the next 76% going to be released into the market. I couldn't find that for TONCOIN. If you guys can find that, please hit me up on Twitter or in the Discord, but I'll keep looking in the meantime as well. So it's important to know, when does that 76% get released? Because remember, that puts downward pressure on the price. You can have an amazing project, but if constantly, anytime it has a pump, people are looking to sell, that's going to mean you lose what I call is a made up word, pumpability of your project, right? You want your coin to have good pumpability. So the projects I like, including the likes of Phantom, have high circulating supply. We're talking 70, 80%. Those are the kind of numbers that are really exciting, because then you know that there's not much more dilution coming. But in this case, that's not the case. And so you can already see that you're sitting at a $10.6 billion fully diluted market cap here on TONCOIN. So this falls into the near protocol category of being a little bit overvalued for my liking, okay? So that's something to be very, very cognizant of. Let's now jump into the charts to take a look at the price movements. So if we take a look at the price action here on TON, you can see this has been a very nice uptrend starting from June of 2022, which is very interesting. This is around the Terra Luna collapse. This is when the pain is really starting to kick in the broader markets. But ever since that point there, you can pretty much see a very powerful move all the way to highs here of 283%. And if you look at where we're at currently down, we've had a little bit of retracement down, 183% just from the summers last year. So really powerful move, higher lows, higher highs, which formulate a very powerful uptrend, which is showing that from a fundamental perspective, they're doing the right thing. They're building attention. People care about what they're doing. They're focusing on their roadmap. They're getting things done. And that's quite exciting here when you're looking at the price action of this project. It's completely outperformed. And to be honest, no coin in the top 100 has done better in the last 60 days than TONCOIN. So definitely one of the projects that is jumping on a lot of people's radar. And if you look at this, I'm sitting on the daily chart. Look at the volume candles. Look at the volume candles here versus here, right? This is building attention. People are starting to talk about it. And that is why you're starting to see an uptick in volume. A few other things worthy of note from the team is that countries are actually talking about using the TON platform for their CBDCs. Okay, you can see here the Republic of Cameroon, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and the Republic of Congo have all expressed an interest on building their CBDCs on the TON network. So you can see it's an exciting layer 1 solution with a lot of potential, and definitely one which is on my radar. Let's take a look at some market cap comparisons to find out what kind of a multiple is realistic, because a lot of people throw out these crazy numbers. Can it 100x? Can it 1000x? Can it 50x, 60x? We're going to take a look to see what is actually possible. So the first one we're going to look at is, let's say that TON can actually eclipse Solana, right? We've already seen that Solana is hugely retraced. It's been at far higher valuations than this. But even now, despite everything that happened, Solana is still a 2x of the market cap of TON. So you can already see that 2x here is not out of the realms of possibility for a project like TONCOIN, which when you look at it, from a stats point of view, is far superior to the likes of Solana. Of course, Solana have much more network activity, they've got more adoption, but from a tech perspective, from an original layer 1 stack perspective, we already showed how TONCOIN beats it on many metrics. Let's then look at a project like Cardano. Again, another one that I hold, but again, a project that has been moving quite slowly. They're sitting there with a market cap 3.58 times, so call it almost 4 times the size of TONCOIN. So a 4x is there. And remember, I'm comparing these to all the bear market prices we're currently sitting at. Cardano has been far higher than this. So for TON to ride the next bull wave, these kind of multiples I'm showing you here are completely conservative. I mean, if Cardano does a 10x from here, which a lot of people are expecting it to do, right? It's sitting here at 32 cents. If it goes back to $3.20, that's a 10x. And then you're talking TONCOIN could do a 40x to get to that kind of a position. Let's compare to the likes of XRP. You're talking an almost 6 times differential between TONCOIN and a project like XRP right now. So again, XRP at a hugely suppressed valuation. If they can get things right with the SEC, if they can move into the next bull run, you're talking massive movements from there. So the potential for a project like TONCOIN is hugely possible. Yes, they've made a huge increase from 200 position to the top 25, but for them to get into the top 10 is going to be another huge leap with other returns possible from there. Let's also take a look at Ethereum, because why not? Ethereum, even now in the bear market, with Ethereum only sitting at $1,300. Remember, a lot of people think Ethereum will comfortably get to $10,000, myself included. Right? When you're looking at that, even currently now, TONX can do a 51x to reach the size of Ethereum right now in the bear market, which we actually think is going to 10x from here, at least on something like Ethereum. So when you look at it here, the multiples aren't insane. We're not saying crazy things for TON to really grow from here. And one thing is for sure, they've made a really positive start with a very powerful 2022. Now the question is, am I buying? Currently, I'm not actively buying TONCOIN. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait for things, but it's definitely on my radar and one to watch. Do I think it can rapidly rise from here? I've got a few concerns around the tokenomics. So again, comment below if you want to see a tokenomics video. Let's do a deep dive into the tokenomics together to see does it stack up. Because remember, you can have an amazing project, right? You can have an amazing project with amazing tech. They can figure out the social media and the community aspects. But if the tokenomics do not stack up, if the value metrics do not stack up for you as an investor, it will not work out. So one, the project has to work. Two, the numbers have to work, and that is why I'm going to sit on the fence for a little bit longer on TONCOIN, but it's definitely impressed me. There are a lot of layer 1 solutions that arrive on my desk that I look at, and they don't give me the same level of, oh, they're doing a good job that TONCOIN has. So props to the team. They're making good progress. You can see that by their coin market cap ranking, and they're heading in the direction. Is it something that I want to hold? Remember, you guys know, once I start investing in a cryptocurrency, particularly layer 1 solutions, which I think is going to be the important narrative going into 2023 and 2024, I've got to make sure it's something that I can believe in, not something I'm just going to flip-flop, buy it, and then sell it next month, couple of months later. If I believe in a project, I'm there. I'm ready to buy the dip. I'm ready for huge retracements after I buy. I'm all in on that crypto. So I've got to do a little bit more work. I've got to be patient. I'm going to share my updates with you guys on this channel. So make sure you subscribe. Comment below if you want to see that tokenomics breakdown. If you appreciate this type of content, smash up likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my free TA course, ijaz.uk/TA. If you're interested in technical analysis, I've made my course available completely for free. EMA ribbons, head and shoulders patterns, all that cool stuff. Definitely check that out. Links in the description.